Hello and welcome to Pro Tour Columbus. I'm Randy Buehler. I'm here with Mike Flores, and we're getting ready to bring you quarterfinal coverage of the first Pro Tour of the 2005 season. On your screen, you see Olivier Ruel on the left and Masashi Oiso on the right. That's the match we're going to start out on. Clearly the two most experienced players in this top eight. They've got 5 previous top eights between them. There's only 1 previous top eight on the rest of the field. What are you looking for in this matchup, Mike?
Well, there are 2 things that we should consider about Ruel's deck.
All right.
One of them is it's a fast beatdown deck. He's got Chrome Mox. He can come out swinging.
So what's he playing, basically a Goblin
He's
build?
playing a Goblin deck with black.
Okay.
Now, that's what I was going to point out. Now, besides being a fast beatdown deck, Ruel can go for a combination kill himself. He can generate a critical mass of Goblins and then cast Living Death to set up Goblin Sharpshooter, multiple combination of activations with Skirk Prospector. Sure. To generate a huge amount of mana, go off with cards like Siege Gang Commander for a tremendous amount of damage in a single turn.
So what's Masashi Oiso got up his sleeve?
Oiso is playing a Mind's Desire deck.
Okay.
And this deck seeks to cast a lot of spells in a single turn, play Mind's Desire, and then cast more and more spells, setting up a huge Brain Freeze or Tendrils of Agony with Storm.
And he's also got the splash of black, right?
Yeah, he's got Nightscape Familiar in his deck, which I think blocking might come into play, but more important is that after sideboarding, he's got Psychotog, where this is a very powerful threat we've seen in other successful decks.
Absolutely.
Many formats.
Yeah, Psychotog was, what, 4th most played deck this weekend or so? It's a good deck. It didn't quite make the top 8 in its pure control form, but I really like the way Oiso can play his deck either way.
I agree. When I saw this deck list, the fact that he had Psychotog was I'm sure there are players who were prepared for a combination deck after sideboarding and looked at Dr. Teeth.
All of a sudden, what? I know Nicholas Lutz lost a match in the Swiss because he just wasn't prepared for Psychotog after sideboarding.
The other thing we have to look at about Ruel's deck is that he's got the Burning Wish main deck. He can play for powerful disruption cards out of his board. The most powerful probably being Cranial Extraction in Game 1. Cranial Extraction from Mind's Desire in Game 1 is not going to be game over for Oiso.
It's close.
It's close. But Oiso can generate multiple Sapphire Medallions.
And so like Cunning Wish out, Brain Freeze.
He has to chain Cunning Wishes against each other until he has enough critical mass to Brain Freeze.
All right, well, the players have drawn their opening hand. Ruel, always a character. He should be a fun one to watch, even if this... Does he give it anything away there? Do you have any ideas he would make that face no matter what he drew?
I think that he's playing deliberately to disrupt Oiso's ability to read him.
Okay.
There are certain players who are going to give away tells by their body language.
And there's Oiso. Pretty calm. What do you think of him? Does he give away much information?
I haven't watched Oiso play many times, but clearly he has a lot of experience, more even than Ruel in top 8 competition. I think that
the fact that 4th top 8 from Masashi Oiso.
The fact that he looks calm is because he's been here before, and I think he's playing to win this top 8.
How good is Masashi Oiso?
I've heard he's fantastic. He's going to have a very methodical game in this matchup. His deck is difficult to play. And the fact that he took it to this point means that he's been playing very well on the weekend.
Ruel has decided to take a mulligan, by the way, so he'll be going down to 6 cards. Did not like the opening draw.
Who won the flip?
We'll find out. We have our man on the floor, Jonathan Becker. We'll be bringing you updates from him periodically, and see if we can get him to wander over and find out who's going first.
Because who won the flip is going to be very important.
Oiso won the flip.
So the mulligan hasn't hurt Ruel that much then.
Going second?
Yeah.
Going second hurts him.
Going second hurts him, but the mulligan hurts him a lot less going second.
I guess I'll buy that. Yeah, Masashi Oiso, he was Rookie of the Year 2 seasons ago. This is only like his 3rd season, so he's played, what, 1,000 Pro Tours?
And he's got 4
He's
top 8.
got 4 top 8s.
That's fucking better than John Finkel.
That is a Finkel-like pace. Finkel had, what, 10 over...
Finkel's first Pro Tour was in 96.
First top 8 was 97.
It was yours,
yeah.
97. But then Finkel picked up pretty quickly, I guess.
But, yeah, Masashi Oiso, he hasn't actually won one, so people maybe aren't giving him enough credit, but people are starting to talk about him as quite possibly one of the very best players on tour. Forget about the best Japanese player, which used to be a category people would talk about, but just straight-up best players on tour.
Was it Tokyo where the Japanese players finally broke into a top 8?
Right.
And they haven't looked back.
No, they really haven't. And for the last year, I mean, they're clearly outperforming the Americans, for example. The Europeans, especially maybe the French, plus the Japanese. That seems to be where the best Magic's getting played.
One of the things that we spoke about, and Oiso's clearly playing constructed deck this time around, is that when the top 8 was declared last night, look for the Japanese players, they were playing extended. The American players were playing Champions of Kamigawa draft.
Sure.
And that's going to tell you who's taking the constructed Magic more seriously.
Absolutely. Well, the players are off. Olivier Ruel kept his 6-card hand. Oiso led with an island. Her Prospector came down for Olivier Ruel, and Brainstorm from Oiso, so he's setting up a turn 2.
Cirque Prospector is not the best opening play that Ruel has got, but it's, I think, a scripted, pretty decent opening
It's up
play.
there. I mean, if he can generate mana, he can get to that Burning Wish for Cranial Extraction a lot
We could have a
faster.
third-turn Cranial Extraction with this draw, I think,
Yeah.
which is going to be very respectable against Oiso.
So, on the back tables, by the way, Gadiel Slifer has already exhumed out a Chroma.
It sounds like my predictions might be wrong on this matchup.
It's actually tight, though, because Gadiel's down to 6.
What did I tell you about the burn?
Lava Mancer, Seal Fire. It's going to be close.
Jonathan, what you're saying is Nakamura draws anything.
Oh, my goodness. Shuhei Nakamura just beat a Chroma with his Red Deck wins deck.
Randy, what did I tell
Oh
you
my
about
goodness.
the red deck in this matchup?
Wow.
I think Nakamura is going to win this one in 4. I'm telling you, this guy played beautiful burn magic all weekend.
Wow. All right. Shuhei Nakamura hangs up the first win of this Pro Tour Top 8. Nakamura 1, Slifer 0. And meanwhile, Masashi Oiso has finished resolving his Brainstorm, dropped a Chrome Mox and an Island.
Chromox is very good.
Oh, that must have been main phase Brainstorm. Another update on the back table.
We
Nicholas
talked about-
West has out, what was it? Isochron Scepter
With Mana Leak
with Mana Leak on it.
and Meddling
Also,
Mage
Meddling Mage on
Force.
Taskmaster,
We spoke
so-
about Task Force being the target for Meddling Mage. It's got 3 toughness.
Ryuichi Arita is missing land drops. He's just got an Encore. Looks like the control deck may take the early lead on the back table. Start Prospector into the red zone for Olivier Ruel.
The first of 19, Olivier is thinking. Unlike Nakamura's deck, Olivier doesn't have as much reach. If he's going to burn out Oiso, it's going to be a spectacular turn. It's not going to be incremental.
Yeah, it's going to be like Siege Gang Commander, stack all my guys, deal 8.
living death.
Yeah, sure.
Olivier's reaching for his library, it looks like. Is this a Bloodstained Mire?
Yep. Land number 2.
And he went for Mountain.
What does he want to do here? What's his game plan?
He's going for Mountain. I'm thinking he's going to go for a Burning Wish and has a Black Source in his hand. And he's going to go for the 3rd-turn Cranial Extraction. That's what I'd be praying for if I were him.
Or
Is that a
Goblin
pile
Pile
driver?
Driver.
Well, if he gets a Goblin War Chief set up, he's swinging for a ton of damage.
So Oiso had imprinted a Tendrils of Agony on his Chrome Mox, uses it to Vanguard Tutor. How many kill cards does Oiso have?
He's got a Tendrils of Agony in his main deck, and he's got a Brain Freeze in his sideboard.
That he can wish for?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Imprinting the kill card in this matchup is pretty
Fine.
irrelevant.
Yeah, he can just go get...
Brain Freeze.
When he goes off, he's got the ability to wish up his Brain Freeze. So.
One thing to keep in mind, though, Brain Freeze is not a locked kill in this matchup because it's quite possible we'll be able to kill Oiso on his upkeep prior to having to draw a card.
Yeah, sometimes just being able to untap him like a Siege Gang.
I take it back. Oiso's got Stroke of Venus in his sideboard as well. So he has another kill card.
Oh, no land, just a Sapphire Medallion. It didn't look like a great turn for Oiso. I wonder what he tutored for. The Medallion, maybe? I mean, it didn't come down on turn 2, so yeah, it would have to be the Medallion, right?
He might have a Snap in his hand. Imagine that Ruel taps out for Goblin War Chief thinking that he's going to take a huge turn
Yeah,
and ends up taking a lot less damage
Sure.
if Oiso's got a Snap.
Those snaps were really good over the course of the week. It was interesting. Oiso randomly has snaps in his deck because his plan A is snap Sada Fairies. It counts as a spell. It generates mana. It gets a Sapphire Medallion in play. You get to untap 2 land, but it only costs him 1 island. So
I'm thinking Slifer does not ever want to be facing off against Oiso.
no, I think right, exactly. Oiso would get these matchups against Reanimator, which was the most popular deck in the field on day 2, and then all of a sudden, snap out of nowhere puts the giant monster back in the Reanimator deck's hand. It seems really horrible
the
matchup for
amount of
Reanimator
work
players.
that the Reanimator decks have to go through just to get Fatty into the graveyard.
Yeah.
I mean, they're Cabal Therapying themselves, playing such creatures as Pit Imp, Putrid Imp, just to discard a creature, and then Snap not only returns the creature to their hand, but now the blue deck has 2 untapped mana.
Yeah,
this is crazy. It's terrible for a deck like Slice.
All right, so Ruel just served with the Prospector and the Pile Driver. He's got Oyster down to 13.
And there is a Rishodon port in play.
That's cute. Oyster does look a little...
With Oiso missing that land drop, that Rishodon port could be
might actually not be too slow. On the back table, by the way, Ryuichi Arita scooped him up, so Nick West hangs up his first win on the board, 1-0 West. Pierre Canali and Jeffrey Cerrone still in Game 1, and we're still in Game 1 here as well.
It sounds like my predictions are holding true.
Goblin Matron from Olivier Ruel. That is the beatdown.
He could go for a very exciting turn next turn with this Goblin Matron. What do you think he's going for? It depends what he's holding.
Yeah, sure.
One thing you have to keep in mind is that with Skirk Prospector in play, that Goblin Matron is not only a tutor, but it is a little baby Dark Ritual.
Yeah.
The red deck is playing very black.
Remove this mechanic to black.
I know.
How it works now.
You took all the mechanics away from my favorite color and gave
Black
them
had too much stuff.
to Dave's favorite color.
Black had too much stuff. Red did not have enough stuff.
Red has
Red
burn.
just has, yeah, it has burn, and we took away, it's not supposed to get Jackal Puff anymore.
Burn is enough.
It's one thing.
Ruel, very concentrated look on his face here.
Yeah, where's the goofy Olivier Ruel?
I think he's doing math. I would love to know what is in Ruel's hand right now.
It's interesting, before the top 8 started, Olivier Ruel was booster drafting champion.
And you were right, Randy. It looks like Goblin War Chief.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he did not play one match of playtesting overnight. He made the top 8, and he was just like, I'm going to relax, and then draft some. He's calm, probably get a decent night's sleep. Didn't need to playtest. He knows how to play his deck. He understands the matchup. He'll just do his thing and see how it works out.
Ruel is arguably the most experienced player in the top 8, if only the second most experienced player in terms of number of top 8s.
Yeah, he's been around longer than I so.
I don't think that Ruel's particularly nervous here. This matchup is gonna rest on the strength of the draws and the strength of the skill of the players.
Yeah.
It's not one of these matchups where it's very intricate on both sides. Ruel has a fast A game, and the fact that he can go for Cranial Extraction or just play Cabal Therapy quickly. He has many, many weapons.
All right. Gadiel Slifer, by the way, double mulligan in Game 2, down to 5 cards. That sounds bad, but to be fair, the Reanimator deck is the kind of deck you like to mulligan aggressively with.
You have to.
Oh, never mind. Jackal Pup Wasteland, and Gadiel scoops him up. Nakamura 2-0. All of a sudden. What time is it? It's like 9:15, and Shuhei Nakamura is already up 2-0, trying to make Mike Flores look like a predictive genius. Everyone had Slifer winning this match, including the Japanese players. Everyone had Slifer winning.
I watched Nakamura play yesterday.
All right.
He played against giant monsters round after round. I watched him play against Gabe Walls. Gabe played a first-turn Crusade, followed up with Absolute Law. Every creature that he played was bigger than every creature in Nakamura's deck.
Yep.
Gabe got Curse Scroll out. Nakamura effortlessly killed him. Effortlessly.
All right. Satoshi Oiso imprints a Mind, looks like a Mind Desire on another Chrome Mox, so. We'll try and get you some coverage of Gadiel Slifer and Shuhei Nakamura before they finish up, but we're going to watch this game, and if Nakamura sweeps it, they'll be done before we get the camera back.
One thing we have to point out about the board position of Island Mox is that even with Sapphire Medallion in play, Oisu can't go for a turnabout plan as well. The reason is because his mana sources are not lands.
Oh, wow. So, Cabal Therapy, he sees a Snap, and is that a Cunning Wish? I think that's Cunning Wish.
What card did Olivier name?
We told Becker to watch the back table, so we sent our spotter to get back table information.
Move faster, spotter.
All right, Ruel smashes into the red zone. It's got to be... Ruel smashes into the red zone with Pile Driver, Matron, and Cirque Prospector. Ruel had named Intuition with that therapy.
Is that a 7-point bash?
2, 4, 6, 7, 8, it's 9, right?
9?
Gadiel Pfeiffer
Looks
shows
like-
his opening hand,
looks
no
like-
land.
I'm going to be wrong because I called Nakamura in 4, not 3. Everyone said not only was Nakamura not going to win, but I called it in 4.
Yeah. Yeah, that is 9 points in the red zone. What is, Oiso's contemplating a snap here? Do you snap Pile Driver?
You can't. It's protection from blue.
Oh, my goodness. I remember that now. That's funny.
What was going through your head when you gave that creature protection from blue?
Psychotog. Seriously. We're like, Psychotog's really, really good.
Which bad guy do we help more?
This is the second noblest deck, he said.
No, I did not. I said Nakamura's deck was.
Oh,
This
all
is a
right.
dirty combo deck. It attacks for 1 million and then deals you the indignity of like 1,000 points of Siege Gang Commander and of Goblin Sharpshooter.
Well, I'm doing that. So he snaps Prospector. Is that in the middle of the attack phase?
Looks like it is. I assume the trigger on Goblin Putter was already hit though.
Yeah, it was weird. That's what they're checking. It doesn't make. Did he forget the Pile Driver was pro blue?
Oh, this is in a lot of trouble right now. He's got just a Cunning Wish left.
Yeah, and Ruel's got therapy in his graveyard, so he can just nail the Cunning Wish, which.
Well, he can't really nail the Cunning Wish. But
let's see what
if Oiso
right? He
responds by using the Cunning Wish, then he
Yeah, he
can
can nail. He just he has therapy. What does Oiso do? If he does nothing, you name Wish. If he does something, you just name that card. Yeah, Cunning therapy beats Cunning Wish.
Wish.
It's a mid-attack phase Wish. So meanwhile, there's a really clever play on back table. I'm going to throw it down to John Becker. John, what's going on down there? What was the cool play?
Oh, we have a very cool play here by Canali. It's a really high-level play. I think he was his opponent was trying to Circular Logic one of his spells and remove Circular Logic from the Madness stack. Canali had an Aether with 2 counters on it, so he waited until they had been removed from the game with the Madness stack, and then he Aether Vialed out Meddling Mage, calling Circular Logic.
Oh, wow.
To be able to be called Madness.
Phenomenal play.
That's very good.
Not only essentially countering Circular Logic, but then also shutting down a really important spell.
And
that
putting
is
a
pretty
2/2
cool.
meter in play that wasn't there a minute ago.
Right, so the Circular Logic is in the Madness deck. He hasn't been played yet. Meddling Mage comes into play. You can't play Circular Logic.
Plus he also now he's fairly fearlessly cranking up his Urban Ravager to up to 5/5 without fear of any sort of counter spell.
All right, so Pierre, this game 1 down there still?
I'd say it's still game 1, yeah.
All right, Pierre Canali.
Sounds good for Pierre.
Interesting. Thanks, John.
Meltdown. Wow.
What just happened? Burning Wish from Meltdown.
It looks like
Oof. Bye-bye 2 Chrome boxes.
it looks like all my predictions are going in the correct direction, Randy.
Yeah, Oiso scoops him up. Wow. Masashi Oiso got nothing. Olivier Ruel just came out, did a little beatdown, blew up a couple Chrome boxes, and that's all it took. We'll try to get a live check-in on Table D. Let's see if we can get Gadiel Pfeiffer on camera against Shuhei Nakamura. They're in Game 3. I think our cameras will be able to get back there while we watch. Meanwhile, Oiso and Ruel will sideboard and shuffle up, and we'll come back for more coverage of this later. But,
Jonathan, can you give us an update on the status of this game that we're coming into?
yeah, Pfeiffer and Nakamura, what's up?
Sure. In Game 3, both players mulled into 6. Turnwood.
Hold on, let me see if we can get your mic
I'm sorry.
turned on.
Nakamura mulled into 5. And currently there's 2 land on each side of the board, one's a port, but the big advantage Gadiel seems to have here is she has a Rorik's Bladewing active on the board.
Out.
Oh, Pfeiffer's got active. So they went down to 6 and 5 cards, is what you're telling me.
So it is going to go to 4.
Oh, maybe.
I guess he beat a Chroma with these in the first game, so.
That's not the D that I was giving. The one on the right.
Ah. Even if he has an Ensnaring Bridge, the thing that we all spoke about is that Ensnaring Bridge loses in a fight with Echoing Truth and Giant Monsters on the other side of the table. So I just set up a kill and then play Echoing Truth.
That is Gadiel Slifer on the left of your screen, Shuhei Nakamura on the right. Gary Wise looking on with the laptop.
What is Slifer's life?
So Slifer's got Rorik Bladewing in play. Nakamura, oh, there you go.
4.
Fair enough. Gadiel Slifer with a quick Rorik, and Nakamura had nothing that time, so it is going to game 4.
Won't I look silly if Slifer comes back 3-0? Slifer doesn't look happy.
All right, let's hang out here for a couple minutes and see if we can get a quick game 4 on camera. Slifer's leaning up a little more now. He got one win under his belt. I think you got to feel a little better to get the first one, right?
You can't feel good at all down 2 in your first top 8.
Think he's losing with turn to a Chroma?
You can't ask for a much better draw in this matchup.
Against Red, too.
Well, Tom, do you know if he took a lot of life loss when he made that a Chroma or if it was free?
He exhumed it, right?
I don't know.
He exhumed it? He exhumed it.
Oh, wow.
Still lost.
That's really demoralizing. Newsflash from 1997, ball lightning is still good.
So, what should we look for in this game, Mike?
Ensnaring Bridge is going to be one of the key defensive cards on Nakamura's end.
Okay.
Offensively, the things that we have to think about are that Slifer really deals a lot of damage to himself. He's got Pain Lands up the wazoo.
Okay.
Vampiric Tutor, which is arguably his most important card, it costs him 2 every time he plays it.
Mm-hmm.
And Nakamura, every one of those points of damage is an increment that Nakamura has in his mind at all times.
So Nakamura will get to play first in this game. He lost game 3, so. All right.
It looked
on the back table, good old-fashioned blue-white control. Swept the board with Rathagod. Dropped the Scepter on Orange Chant. So it's not the Scepter that Weissman had, but it feels kind of the same. Right?
3 words.
Go
good guys.
I agree with you. I am rooting for Nicholas West. I love the blue-white control deck. That's my kind of magic. It's fun.
Nothing against the light deck, but you gotta love
for control.
You gotta love the
right?
good guys. Did Slifer just mulligan?
I believe so. Yeah, looks like it.
And with Nakamura going first, I think he's going to prefer to have an aggressive start rather than sit back on the Ensnaring Bridge.
So I'd like to ask the spectators that are up on the catwalk watching these top 8 matches to turn down your headsets a little bit. We want to make sure that the players don't get any information out of the bleed from your headset. So if you could turn those down just a notch, that'd be great.
Did he break for a mountain there?
Yes.
That is going to put Nakamura to 19, and he's looking for a Jackal Pup here, I think. What will he play?
Mog Fanatic. Not quite as big a clock, but
you told me on Thursday that you thought Mog Fanatic was better than Jackal Pup.
Overall, yeah, because of the fact that it can be used as a removal spell.
Sure.
Jackal Pup's the more aggressive card. I mean, if you want to beat down, Jackal Pup is faster, but Jackal Pup's one-dimensional. I think Mog Fanatic's extra utility, the fact that it can blow up a creature, still get in, it's still a beatdown card. It still comes out on the first turn, but all in all, I think Mog Fanatic's a stronger card. I think Jackal Pup is better in this context of turn 1 when you're trying to race. Still on game 1, by the way, Pierre Canale versus Jeffrey Cerrone.
But with Canale making plays off that Aether Vial, like the one that Jonathan told us about, it's going to go slow. These are very methodical plays, even though the decks are quick.
Keeping an eye on the boards. Member Click is complaining there's no Tog in the top 8. What a bummer.
Tell member Click
yes,
that there is Tog in the top 8,
Masashi
and Oiso is going to kill someone with it.
Oh, he says I think Oiso has it. He's rooting for Oiso because of the Tog.
No one should root for Tog. The following cards should not be rooted for. Tog,
yeah,
Mind's Desire,
okay,
Turnabout.
How is Jackal Pup not on your list?
I hate Jackal Pup,
All right.
but I hate it less than the combo decks.
All right. Click also asks, what's up with the deck list? The truth of the matter is that we had a bit of a computer glitch yesterday, so we were unable to get all the deck lists up already. They're coming. I think they're going to try to get at least some of the deck lists up today, but we will definitely have every deck from the entire event up on the web sometime in the next day or two.
Click, I personally typed a large number of those deck lists over the course of the weekend, so I want to see them up as much as you do.
Yeah, I think it sounded like they'll be able to get at least some of them up today, but the rest will definitely be up soon.
Let's see here. Is that Swamp Island for Slifer? And the board for Nakamura is Mountain, Mog Fanatic, Grim Lava Master, Seal of Fire. And this Brainstorm or Careful Study? Main phase? Main phase, Brainstorm.
Slifer's digging.
That is not the play he wants.
No. Careful Study maybe would have been fun, but
If you've
he's
got
got a tutor, he can shuffle the junk away, I guess.
But does he have any way to dump a Chroma?
Yeah, we'll see.
This might be a race.
We'll see. We'll try. We tend not to give away information about the hands. We want to make sure nothing gets to the players. So. Nakamura staring over, wondering, is that Brainstorm good? That seems good for me, that all he's got is Brainstorm. And Future Dimp came down for Gadiel Slifer. So
Future Dimp?
He's got Future Dimp on the board.
Surprisingly effective in this situation.
Sure, he gets just block.
And Pain Mog Fanatic.
Yeah, it blocks, and it's got the ability to discard any fatties that he happens to have drawn. So Nakamura goes ahead and sacrifices Mog Fanatic, points at the Future Dimp, and Slifer does indeed discard and a Chroma. So a Chroma in the yard, and there's Ensnaring Bridge.
The elegance of the play of sacrificing Mog Fanatic prior to attacking is huge.
The
What that tells you is Nakamura is playing against the Exhume.
Yeah. And Exhume... Was that double Curse Scroll from
Slifer is at a ton of life, but
with Ensnaring Bridge?
But he is on a definite clock against double Curse Scroll and active Grim Lava Master.
Yeah, this game looks great for Nakamura, right?
He's casting Vampiric here, so...
But Nakamura's on 18. It's not like Echoing Truth gets rid of Ensnaring Bridge, right? It just bounces it. It just comes back down again.
He's got a decent amount of time. He might be sandbagging for a huge 18-point swing turn.
Well, he's got to, right? That's his only play.
Yeah,
unless he gets Lava Mantra for 2 here.
No, that's actually not true. He can set up a Cabal Therapy,
right?
Where he goes
Cabal Therapy.
Where he goes pick up the Ensnaring Bridge and then Cabal Therapy. Yeah.
So he needs like a Future Dimp or something worth sacking.
Oh, he could be holding a Cabal Therapy.
Could be. Oh, so if he tutors up Therapy.
Yeah.
He's got to go Echoing Truth, Cabal Therapy. Yeah, that's the play.
Even in that case, the game is not over, though. I mean,
he can draw
the board.
And he can draw more Ensnaring Bridges. So Gadiel Slifer got a Chroma out on turn 3, but he has not gotten to attack with it even a single time because Nakamura played turn 3 Ensnaring Bridge. Slifer's got Echoing Truth. He can try to bounce the Ensnaring Bridge, but it's going to take him 2-3 attack phases to win the game, so just Echoing Truth isn't enough yet. So here's the Echoing Truth. That'll bounce the bridge. Now, he's got to have Cabal Therapy or that play makes no sense.
Interesting play on the part of Nakamura. Notice how he dumped
his Cabal Therapy.
His entire
2 bridges.
Oh, wow.
2 bridges down. A Chroma comes over. We race on.
Okay.
Triple Curse Scroll from Nakamura. He doesn't have enough time or mana
to couple things to keep in mind. The fact that he just hit him for 2 bridges is going to cost Slifer at least 4 life.
Because of Grim Lava
Yeah.
Master.
Now, Nakamura's got, it looks like, 3 turns of beatdown before he's dead. And let's count the damage he's got. There's minimum... it's hard to say how much burn he's got access to right now.
Yeah.
Depends on if he draws land.
The Seal means Slifer's effectively at 7. The Fanatics put him at 5. Curse Scroll for land. Land is perfect there.
It's not just a land.
It's
a sack land.
And it fuels the Grim Lava Mancer.
That is about the worst thing that Slifer could have seen.
Fetch land. Not only do I get mana, but I get a card in my graveyard.
I mean, Gadiel's blocking here, and he's still taking 2.
Yeah, Nakamura serves for the Fanatics. The Chroma blocks 1. The other one He's at 7 from the curse scroll. The Fanatic drops him to 6. The attack drops him to 5.
This is a
ball game, right?
disaster.
Fanatic stacks down to 4, Steel to 2, and Lava Mancer for the win. It's over, right?
This is a disaster for Gadio.
Wow, that top deck. That's the game, set, and match, ladies and gentlemen. Shuhei Nakamura, 3 games to 1. Ensnaring Grid brought him a couple turns, and that's all he needed to burn out Gadio Swiper.
Who called the match in
Shuhei
4?
in
Not just
4.
the match, but the match in 4.
Shuhei Nakamura, 3-1, through to the semifinals with his red deck win deck. Nice call, Mike.
Nakamura in 4.
All right, we're going to go back and check in on the original match. Olivier Ruel's got a couple goblins in play. Masashi Oiso is trying to slow him down and set up, and whew, that was...
Coming into the Ruel matchup, this is something that we can say both about the Ruel matchup and about Nakamura's deck,
Right.
is that people look at these red D-Pound decks and they think to themselves, oh, this is a red D-Pound deck.
Right,
it's
right.
easy to play. I would argue these are the hardest decks to play. The reason is because not only are they playing these decks with, in many cases, less powerful cards in the matchup,
Yep.
but they have to play precise beatdown math.
Sure.
They are managing not only their own resources, but the opponent's resources, which is something that many of the other decks don't have to worry about.
Right. Speaking of beatdown mass, Olivier Ruel trying to beat down. He's got Oiso down to 11. He's got a War Chief and a Prospector. He's staring across the board at a Medallion and a Cloud of Fairies. So these should be the crucial turns. Ooh, Duress should be pretty good.
Duress.
Sulfur Springs for Duress, so... So there's been an interesting development down there in the match between Pierre Canali and Jeffrey Cerrone. Jonathan Becker was telling us earlier about a really cool play that Canali made, but what happened after that, John? What's going on down there? Okay. Okay. So with the Roar of the Worm token, he just didn't see it, or what am I missing?
I'm not sure exactly what.
Okay, so he swings with everybody, but Roar eats somebody.
He may have thought that having a 7-tower attacker on the board with Splinter not having access to circular logic was a good plan. It looked that way, except Cerrone just didn't really draw very much land. He just kept drawing chump blockers, kept throwing down creatures and blocking the 7 while he was swinging back, and there just weren't enough blockers, so he just kept throwing down creatures, and he just eventually overwhelmed it.
All right, so Jeffrey Cerrone wins game 1. That's what you're telling us?
Yeah, despite the fantastic middling mage play,
Wow.
and what looked like to be a fairly dominating board position, Cerrone just kept whittling away and kept throwing sacrificial creatures in front of the giant frog mite,
All right.
and just could never get any damage to it. There was no nexus to be found to move tokens on before he had to throw it onto the frog mite. And I didn't see a Disciple. I don't think he saw a Disciple the whole game, so he couldn't do any damage that way either. So
Roll 1 for the Blue-Green Madness deck.
reduced the beating down with a 7/7 frog mite, which sounds like a good thing, but in this case wasn't quite enough.
All right, Jeffrey Cerrone up 1-0.
I still like the Affinity deck in
We'll
that
see.
matchup.
Meanwhile, a couple turns have gone by on camera. Olivier Ruel's Duress was answered by an Intuition for Accumulated Knowledge.
But then accumulated knowledge.
Oiso cast his Accumulated Knowledge for 3, drew 3 cards, but the only good one was the 4th AK. Duress, of course, took the 4th AK, and Oiso's left in the hand. It did not seem to have a lot of action, so things looking pretty reasonable for Olivier Ruel here. Goblin Ringleader came down, flipped over a couple cards. I didn't see exactly what he got. I think he got at least one Goblin, so he's attacking, and Oiso's hands not very good. I think Intuition for AK's response to Duress made sense. He's hoping to draw more than one good card, but lost the AK that he drew.
Cloud of Fairies stock has gone down a lot. Both of those creatures have 2 tough.
Yeah, there used to be a Surf Prospector on board, but it gave its life up for the Ringleader. Did it?
I mean, Ringleader only costs 3 with the War Chief in play.
But he Duress. He went Duress.
He went Duress. My bad. If there's one thing that beatdown players don't like to do, it's running their 1 toughness creatures into Cloud of Fairies. That's really demoralizing. Mike Dene used to love the Cloud of Fairies. He would just run them out there against beatdown decks.
I think Wall of Blossoms is a little better in that scenario. Another Mike Dene card.
Mike Dene claimed that Wall of Blossoms was the best control card to come out of Stronghold.
Yeah.
Does history prove that out?
That had
Spike Theater.
Spike Theater pretty good.
No, Spike Weaver is Weather.
Forbidden
Sorry,
that
it's
set, too.
not Weatherlight.
Forbidden's in that set too, right? Oh, that's Exodus. Which also had Oath. Speaking
And
of control cards.
the Nightscape Familiar. So the blocking that we spoke about pre-game looks like it's going to take effect. What goblins?
Yeah, but Oitho can't. I mean, he can block for a turn or two, but
He has no choice here.
obviously that's the
Seven.
plan. It's plan C. That's all I'm saying.
What goblins did Ringleader turn over? Do we know?
I didn't see. It went by too fast.
Because it's the wrong goblins.
7? A lot of people thought this matchup would go to 5, but
I was one of those people.
Ruel looks poised to take a 2-0 lead. Oh, there's Pile Driver. It's a hasty Pile Driver because of the War Chief. There's Mog Fanatic.
That is a disaster
Yeah,
for
that's
so.
giant. He gets to attack with everybody, pumps the Pile Driver. He can sack the Fanatic if he wants. That helps.
I think
Why,
it's
just
he
bring.
just no. He uses the Mog Fanatic to hit the Nightscape Familiar.
Right.
And I guess
Oh,
that's
turn it out. Yep.
I mean, the play would have been to hit the Nightscape Familiar with the Mog Fanatic and bring after. I'm sorry, attack
After
everything.
triggering the Pile Driver.
Because the Cloud Bears would not be able to block the Pile Driver.
Oh, yeah,
Pile
that
Driver
would
would
have
kill
been a
him.
play. So if you sack Fanatic to kill Nightscape Familiar here while it can't be
I
regenerated,
think so.
deprive him of his other Sapphire Medallion?
Ruel's seen Eliso's hand. I don't think that he's worried about losing right now.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree with Ruel's play. He does sacrifice Fanatic to get rid of Nightscape Familiar. That Familiar is an annoying blocker. It can block Pile Driver, and here you can actually kill it and deprive. Oiso scoops him up. So 2-0 for Olivier Ruel. There you go. Olivier Ruel, 2 games. Musashi Oiso, 0. Let's see if we can go back to table C and get the Madness versus the City. Oh, they're still sideboarding. Where should we go, Becker? Can we? All right,
Don't cut Eliso out yet.
I'm not counting him out. We'll come back. While they're sideboarding, we're going to go to the back table, and Nicholas West has a 2-0 lead on Ryuichi Arita. There you see Nicholas West on the right of your screen, Ryuichi Arita on the left. Arita's playing a life combo deck, and West is on with blue-white control. I see a bunch of permanents in play. I don't know what they are, but blue-white control with that many permanents in play has got to be winning, right? 2 meddling mages on board and a meddling mage on the stack.
Oh, wow.
Daru Spiritualist and Task Force both of
That is not the face of a happy play.
No, Ryuichi Arita does get on camera, but he's not a happy man.
Academy Rector.
Academy Rector.
And what card is Academy Rector hating out?
What's in the board?
It's probably for Test of Endurance, right?
Oh, Test of Endurance? Yeah, Test of Endurance. All right, there's Nick West playing in his first Pro Tour ever. He built this deck for the last round of extended QTs last December, like 11 months ago. Got destroyed by Tinker, but then when he qualified via Block Constructed, dusted off his old deck, and turned out he did a bunch of playtesting. He enjoyed this deck, he liked it, and it was good after the recent banning. So.
That's a great tradition of Pro Tour champions, though, where they pick a deck they love and play it in
Absolutely.
whatever format that they can. Dave Price, Mike Long, John Finkel.
And this extended is just the kind of format where there's a bunch of viable decks, so play the one that you know well. Play the one you understand how to play.
Something that we can't underrate here is how many options Nick West has. His deck is arguably the most flexible in the top 8. He's got the turn 1 kill draw, but he can disrupt anyone's draw with the Meddling Mage. Uh-oh.
Is that Infinite Life right there? Yeah, so he's got the Nomad Encore. He targets... Well, did he have anybody to get Infinite Toughness? Why is that Infinite Life? Oh, no, he just had 2. He had 2 Encores. He's just like he had to chump block to gain 2 life, right? Yeah. He had 2 different redirectors, but nobody to
well.
There you go.
Is that match?
Yeah, that is the match. Isokron Scepter for Orange Chan, and that's it. Ryuichi Arita has gone down. Nicholas West with the sweep. 3-0.
2 of my predictions have come true.
West is through. I had Nick West. I had Nick West in that match. We'll go back and get you some more action. Nick West is through to the semis. Where's our bracket? Who does Nick West will be taking on? Oh, we know that whole semifinal. We'll be taking on Shuhei Nakamura.
The funny thing is that it it looks also that Olivier is in commanding position, but it doesn't matter for my predictions because I picked Canali to win the Pro Tour. So if he doesn't come through against the Blue-Green Madness deck, doesn't matter how many of my quarterfinal matches this guy got right.
Nakamura 3-1, West 3-0. We got one half of the bracket. It'll be Blue-White Control against Red Deck Wins. Welcome to 1997 again.
In 1997, no one was ready for Red Deck Wins. As I recall, the Lava Hounds came out.
All right, well, we've got one half of the bracket set for you, and momentarily we'll be ready to bring you coverage of the other side and find out how the other semifinal plays out.